So hey guys, welcome to my channel. So this is gonna be a problem solving video from the book SS Krotov, and this is a really interesting problem. And from this one single problem, you might get a clear idea about what is SHM and what is all about the electrostatic thing. And भाई feel आएगा बहुत, ठीक है इसमें. तो without wasting any time, let's get started. Let me explain you the question first. Two identical balls of mass m are connected by a spring of spring constant k. Okay. So then it would oscillate, and what is done that both of these are charged to a charge q. After that, the natural length of the spring becomes twice. The natural length becomes twice. Now we have to compare the frequencies in both the cases. Okay, so it has been a great time investing my time on this problem, because it's really a good one. Okay, let's take the first case where the balls are not charged. Okay, the balls are not charged. So we have to determine the frequency, right? So to determine the frequency, what can we do? What can we do? One thing is that if I sit on the center of mass, I can easily determine the frequency. What would be it? If I sit on the center of mass, what would be the equivalent situation? I am sitting here, that means I am fixed here, the wall, and the spring is there with the spring constant k, and the block is there of mass mu. What is mu here? Mu is the reduced mass. So I can easily write, let us denote the frequency by F naught. F naught, what would it be? 2 pi root under mu by k. Now many of the guys aren't very comfortable with this approach, and even they don't understand how this mu and all these things come. Okay, so I would also do it by an quite orthodox approach, in which we are not assuming anything. Okay, just we would go by the basics, and you would really like it. Okay, so what can I do here? I will make this case a more general one. I would make it m1 and m2, the masses, and at a time t. Let's say this m2 is at a distance x2 from its mean position, and m1 is at a distance of x1 from its mean position. Okay, now if I write equation on m1, so m1 into x1 double dot equals to k into, what is the elongation? Elongation is x1 plus x2, x1 plus x2. Elongation is x1 plus x2. Now we know, to be a simple harmonic motion, this term should be proportional to x1. So we have to eliminate x2. Now what do we see? We see that the center of mass is at rest. So I can write m1 x1 equals to m2 x2. So we get the value of x2 in terms of x1 here. It would be m1 x1 by m2. Now just substitute this here. I would get m1 x1 double dot equals to k into x1 plus m1 x1 by m2 equals to k into m2 plus m1 into x1 divided by m2. If I bring this m1 here, it would be like this. And what is this term? m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2 is mu. So it would be like k x1 by mu. So x1 double dot is equal to k by mu into x1. So we get the frequency here is 2 pi root under mu by k. 2 pi root under mu by k. Okay. So this is case 1. Where the balls are not charged. Okay. Now let's head on to case 2, which is a bit more interesting because we are actually charging both the balls. Okay, so case 1 also is a good problem, but case 2 is better, I would say. Case 2 would be better. So I'm leaving the masses as M1 and M2 only because it seems a bit more general. Okay, so first, if the natural length was L, now the natural length has become 2L. Okay, and both of these are charged to a charge Q. So first let us write the equilibrium condition because the length has changed from L to 2L. So I can write K into 2L minus L is equal to what would happen? See, for example, like I have two balls. Okay, this, just consider this as two blocks. Okay, now if this has a charge Q and this also has a charge Q, this would repel. Okay, this would repel, and as a result of repulsion the natural length increases. So we have the cause that charge is being implemented on the two blocks. Now because of the repulsion the natural length becomes twice, so we implement it here. Now I can write the Coulomb's law like Q squared by 4 pi epsilon naught into what is the distance between them, 2L whole square, 2L whole square. Okay, so K into L would be equal to Q square by 16 pi epsilon naught L square. This is a useful equation for us. Okay, now in the first case we had analyzed the situation on M1, so to make it just deviate from it, to for a change we write the equation on M2. Okay, so what do we write? The restoring force on M2, the restoring force on M2. If restoring, what would it be? It would be K into x1 plus x2. Why x1 plus x2 I have written? Because here also we have assumed after a time t this would go x2 from its mean position M2 and M1 would go x1 from its mean position. So let us consider x1 plus x2 is equal to x for just reducing the number of variables. Okay, let us consider this. It would be K into x minus, what would it be? Minus Q square by 4 pi epsilon naught 2L. See, 2L minus, what would it be? Sorry, plus x1 plus x2 plus x1 plus x2, 2L plus x1 plus x2. It would be plus x1 plus x2 is x whole square. Okay, so we take out 2L whole square from this term, so we would get 16 epsilon naught pi L square. Okay, now it is 1 plus x by 2L whole square. So I can also write it 1 plus x by 2L whole to the power minus 2. Now see, this is the most interesting step of the whole problem. We would apply binomial theorem. After applying the binomial, we can simplify it. Okay, it's easier to simplify it. So I'm writing the thing here. F restoring would become kx minus q square by 4 pi epsilon naught 2L whole square 1 minus 2q, sorry, 2x divided by 2L. It was like 1 plus x by 2L whole to the power minus 2. What do we do in binomial? We just bring it here. Okay, because that is the first expression of the binomial expansion, so we just simplify it. And see that 16 pi epsilon naught L square is just this term. So to understand it, I have written it like this. Okay, so we can substitute this whole thing right here. See, this is the beauty of the problem. You can directly substitute it as KL 1 minus x by L. Okay, so KL into L into x by L would become kx plus kx would become 2kx minus KL. Okay, this is the force restoring, F restoring on this ball. Now just compare it with what? Mx double dot equals to k into x minus c. Here also F restoring, what can I write? See, now the C thing, the C part just determine the shift of the mean position. Okay, so the scale is not important to us. What's important is 2kx. What's important is 2kx. Okay, so what can we write? Directly we can write the frequency here also. Here also we can write the frequency f1 directly. What can we write? 2 pi root under mu by k. What is k here? 2k. The first part of the video I have explained you why this mu comes and not m1 and not m2. You follow the same procedure here and you will land up at mu. Okay. So what is this? F1 will be like f0 divided by root 2. Okay. So this is the answer of the problem. So see, this is a great problem. I would point you up two important things: this equation, equilibrium equation, and applying this binomial thing. These are the most important part, and hope you have loved the problem, and also hope you have enjoyed my approach of doing this. And if you have done it at the first shot, kudos to you. So this would be the end of the video. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button, and also guys, please share and comment. Bye bye.